Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Mountain Dew Cup Series at North Wilkesboro today. I am your host with the most, Fadester, aka Jack. Join with me as always is Copperhead, aka Wilson. And like I said, we are bringing you coverage at North Wilkesboro with Isaac Shelton on the pole with the 42 car on the outside. Should be a pretty interesting race today, Wilson. What do you make of it all? And green flag is out here at North Wilkesboro. Flagman waving the green flag. Here they go. Down into turn one. That six has got a good jump off the corner. And he should hold on to that lead very efficiently going into the backstretch. The battle's going to be for second here. The 59 car also got a very good run going into three. He might be able to challenge that six. 42 falling back. He started on the outside pole here, and now he's falling all the way back to about fifth position. He might lose a few more here stuck in the outside lane. Will Sensing has been really trying to hug that bottom there to try to force the six to get up the track, but it seems as though Shelton can really carry it through the corners in that middle groove. My apologies. We got almost a four-car breakaway here. Now the six is starting to drive away a little bit, but the top four are really pulling away from the rest of the field, at least a little bit here. Maybe the top five. This has definitely been an interesting race so far. Like you said, we're used to seeing the front runners up front, but now they've all started in the mid-pack or back, and now we got some back markers up front trying to make this thing interesting. But we also got to remember, we're only 10% of this race completed. We have plenty of race left. It doesn't always mean the six car or maybe Will Sensing is going to lead every single lap here. We have seen a bunch of races thus far where they've had the front runners up front the entire race, and then one flag comes out, and then it just throws a whole monkey wrench into everything. Yeah, now we've seen that the 25, I think, or whoever the car is right there in third place, I can't really get a good look at his number. They're trying to make it interesting now, too. Like, they moved their way up from the 5th spot all the way up to 3rd, and they're about to make a pass for 2nd here if they're not too careful. I think if he really is trying to get up there, he should really think about changing his lane, because he's trying to make it work on the bottom, maybe to try to lay some rubber down. But it's been established so far that whoever's in 1st place, 3rd place, and 4th place, they're all running the line, the same line, and Will is not. He's running the bottom lane like it's going out of style. That's a very good point. This could also be just a product of the package that we got here too. Maybe you can't really pass in a different lane unless somebody messes up. It might just be all momentum based. It looks like Will. It looks like Will Sensing's actually gaining just a tiny bit of time, at least in the corners. In the straightaways, he loses it, but in the corners, he looks to be gaining more. Oh yeah, he's running the bottom now. He switched his lane up. This is going to make things very interesting here as we're coming up to lap 20 almost. Almost a fifth of this race has been completed. Yeah, they're gaining a lot of time here now. I mean, Will Sensing's, if he's not too careful, if Isaac's not too careful, Will is just going to put the bumper to him and move him out the way, because they're gaining a lot more now. Here he goes on the backstretch. I think the pass is going to happen within a couple laps. Now he's running the middle lane. He's going up high. Yeah, he's even doing a different exit lane now too. Like, he's running the bottom, but he's exiting high. Alvin Thompkins there in 3rd. He's looking to make a pass on Will in 2nd place. Someone's gonna have to give here. Something's gonna happen. If not, now they're now they're trying it a little different. Now they're exiting sort of on the bottom, running the middle, not the middle groove, but running along the hash marks, and then exiting low. They're trying different lanes. Oh, he's going to put the bumper to the back of him here. He's getting closer. Now he's driving the hash mark again. He's going to gain a lot of time on him, though. He's going to be right there. There's contact. There's been contact. I think there was contact on the exit there, too. Forced him up the track. Oh, yep. I wonder if Alvin could actually make it up to the front here by the halfway point. Yeah, Will just has nothing for them on the outside lane there. He's going to fall back. He's got to probably get in line here behind third place, and I think he's going to do that in the next set of corners. Because now that's going to allow the fifth place guy to catch up to him. I think what's been happening here, especially with Will, is they might have been running lanes and using their tires up a little too soon. So now, as a result, they're having to fall back into the pack because they used up their tires a little too soon, like I stated. The only person that right now that doesn't have to worry about that is the leader, Isaac, because he's been up front this entire time. But now 25 is there. It's all, yeah, a very disappointing day so far for the 42 who started on the outside pole. I think if Alvin's going to get around the 6 car here, he might have to be banking on a caution because the caution will probably ensure that he gets a good restart and a good jump. Maybe he could try to clear him going into 1, should that happen. I wonder if he's going to be able to get him down there. Oh, he goes high. He goes wide. I think he got a little desperate and decided to send it to see if he could try to force him up the track, but it definitely bit him. Now we could focus on the 18 car, who's been staying steadily in the top 5 and has just been picking people off one by one, mainly because the other people themselves are making the moves and falling back as a result. So he's only had to just bide his time, pass them whenever they make mistakes, and he'll be there in the end, hopefully. It's amazing that Alvin was able to go wide as he did, and he's still hanging tough there in third, and he might be able to pass the 18 if he cools his tires a little bit. Bumper to the back of the 25. Yeah, him and as well as the rest of the DTM cars were kind of just middling. They're all moving up together actually, because the 42 car is now in front of the 24 of Jack Secrest, and he seems to just be holding up the rest of the pack behind him because the DTM cars started mid pack themselves, if not a little further back, and they've actually had a nice rebound before the halfway point. Well, I wonder at what point, Wilson, do we start seeing that lap traffic is going to be a factor here in the race? Yes. Yeah, because these guys can't make it to the end off just one pit stop. They have to do it. They have to pit at least once. They can't just go the whole race. Clear. Yeah, clearly he has his something's wrong with that car. He's the only outlier there in that team, and everybody else is moving up, but he's falling behind. But apparently, the last place cars aren't struggling enough for them to cause any sort of uh, any sort of mishaps or any sort of lap traffic issues. At least right now, everything seems to be okay. Also, wait, when did the 18 take the lead, and when did the six? The six is all the way in fourth position. Something happened to that six car gentleman where he fell back at least 3 positions and it allowed the 18 to capitalize. It might have been lap 44 or so. I wonder if maybe the six went wide or if the 18 just got to the back of him, because it looks like he was shoving him there going into two or going into three. That's what happened. He shoved him and he got him out of the way. It was just, yeah, they forced him to go further back into the line. That's actually a very smart thing to do, because they know that they are faster than the six car. They've shown that throughout the race thus far, at almost 50 laps completed. Like they've just been biding their time, having to sit behind them. And what a nice recovery for Alvin in the 25 car as well, because he did try to make that move a few laps ago, and he ended up going wide outside. Probably got his tires a little too hot. He was able to cool them, and now he's back in the race again, at least keeping pace in second. Him and Feuds as well. They're Feuds is attempting to make a move on the 24 to pass him for the 11th position, but I think that those teammates are actually they wouldn't. I feel like they might make the top five by the end of the race if they can pick everybody apart in the front, because they've actually recovered very nicely. Whatever happened to Dylan Thacker? Where's he at? He fell back a couple spots. Okay. I feel like he was in the lower. He was in the upper teens, probably lower 20s. Yeah, they all started in the back together. They're just moving up together now. But like I said, that's probably a group of cars to watch out for to probably make a run at the top five towards the end of this race. I'd be really amazed if they would be able to get the entire race on just one can of gas. That doesn't sound right to me. They'd have to pit for gas at least. Tires don't seem to be a big factor. At least right now, because nobody's really fallen off to the point where you're like, okay, they need to pit for tires or anything in the sort, because they haven't even caught lap traffic yet. So if one car is slow, they're all slow. Yeah, they kind of have like a car length or so in between each other now. They're probably trying to get as much fresh air as they can, or clean air, for that matter. Because if you run too close behind each other, you're going to get nothing but dirty air, and it might just throw your car all over the track, especially. And the other thing too is they might be totally resigned. Their crew chiefs might be telling them that you should probably just stay where you're at. If you have the car to make the move at the end, maybe you could run hard then. But for now, just hold the spot. And if all ends well, you might just have second place points instead of last place points. That could be the difference. Oh, there's a lap car up ahead. I believe it's probably that last place car that we mentioned earlier. I think they're finally within view of them at least. But I don't know if they're going to catch them enough at the end. Maybe it might be one of those things where they might get up on them within the last 10 laps, and that might be a determining factor. But as of right now, that it took them 62 laps to even get within range of them, so I think they might be okay to the end. But we have seen in the past on other races where just one car at the track, maybe like Las Vegas, for instance, one lap car can definitely make the difference between you winning versus losing. He's probably going to try to make that leader, the 18, try to run a little harder to catch up to that lap traffic, and then he's going to probably try to make the move on him then. The 25 has been one of the fastest cars on track all day. It's all about determining when you can make the move, because you guys got to remember, North Wilkesboro is not a very big track. It's very spread out, but there's only one line you could really choose from right now. And it seems like everybody who was running the middle lane before, now they're all going to the bottom. Oh, see, now he's making a different line here. And that might cost him, because now the 25 is really fast on the bottom, but he does get a good jump off the top. Okay, so we have started our round of green flag pit stops with about 35 laps to go. Everybody, I think, is coming in. There was only one car that stayed out, and there was the 99. This is like this is a total Jimmy Johnson 2012 Martinsville type deal, or 2011. Is there a caution? It's literally just going to be the 99. I think is going to be the only one on track, and he's going to lap the field, but he has to come in eventually. If he pitted earlier, we must have totally missed it. It looks like somebody got into the back of the 48. Oh no, maybe that was just never mind. Never mind. Oh, we did get to the back of the 40. Looks like somebody got into the side of the 9 car, maybe, unless that was just an optical illusion. Watch the front of the 9. Oh, he did get into the 9, at least a little bit. Somebody might have been forced in there because the 10 got to the back of the 29. Very interesting turn of events here on pit road. Like we've seen, just the 99 has stayed out. I wonder if maybe he was just going to go one more lap, or if he was just going to try to run it out. Okay. I think it's still him right now. A lot of different strategies happening right now. Who's the second place car? Is it still Alvin? Yeah, he seems to be about a second and a half, couple seconds back. You can see him back there in lap traffic. Yeah, we're starting to see a lot of cars that weren't really up there before that are now just there, just based purely off pit strategy alone. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, the 48 and the 24, the teammates, they're now working their way up to the top 5, 6th and 7th, respectfully. Very interesting turn of events so far in this race. We're about 3/4 of the way through this race, and we still got about 25 to go. It's really at this point the 18 is going to have to either make a mistake or wreck out, or have a caution for a last second turn of events. He's gained a few tenths. extremely, especially at a short track. I wonder if the 16 has what it takes to get up there. Should something slow up the 18 a little bit more? But he also has lap traffic he has to get through as well because there's two cars behind the 18 as well. That would kind of suck because okay. Yeah, it's just because lately I've been a little bit more quiet with my audio. That's so funny. Yeah, because I did lower my mic volume just so I didn't wake up my family. Because the walls of my house are paper thin. I got it. Yeah, coming up to less than 20 to go here. It looks like nothing's really going to touch the 18. I mean, the 16 has made up a couple tenths here, but he's not really able to get past the two lap cars in front of him. Like I said, should something else happen, I think the 18's probably going to run away with this one. That's also a possibility, but it seems like they've been keeping their distance because the 18's trying to navigate around the 43. That's going to allow the 16 and the other cars to catch up a little bit. The bumper to the back of the 24. Speaking of the 24 and the 48, they're still hanging tough there in 6th and 7th. Getting a little impatient. If he can make the pass on 43, that'll give him at least a little bit of insurance with 15 to go. I think he's got him here. And he clears them, coming out of 4. Yeah, the 16 has also been able to navigate around some of that lap traffic. There's only one car other than the 43 in front of him. I don't know how much more ground he can make up because the laps are winding down. That's also very true. He's now having to deal with the lap traffic that the 16 just now managed around, but he's also running out of time. It's still a great recovery for all of them. If they get the 9 car in the top 10 with them, that would be a great team effort by all 3 of those cars today. Yeah, terrible showing at the end there from the leader who led about 60 laps or so, 60 to 65. And must have been a miscue on pit road or something for him to fall back that far. Or maybe they messed with the car too much. Final 10 laps here at North Wilkesboro as we are watching J Secrest in the 24 try to navigate around the 59 car, it seems, to get that 5th place spot. He's also trying a different lane. We've seen that a lot today, that nobody really likes to try the second lane at all. They like to run in between the first and second on the hash marks. '82 got sideways, it looked like, in the middle of the corner. Yeah, been green the entire time, almost 100 laps under green. We're coming up to 6 to go here, and it still looks like, I don't think the 16 is going to be able to catch the 18. I think that's been more than established. And what a nice recovery for the 18. I mean, he bided his time. He stayed there in the top 5. He managed to make the pass there under green, got into the pits, came out with like at least a couple seconds lead, and now he's driving away to a victory. Five laps to go at North Wilkesboro for the 18 car. Comfortable second and a half, almost 1.4 lead. And he's got a pretty much clear track in front of him. Maybe a couple lap cars, but they're not going to be a factor with this many laps left.